it's much worse in other places. For example, if you live in the Middle East, in some non-democratic country, you can get beheaded for operating a blog. It happened, or in the Southeast, in Asia. But as a journalist, you have a specific safety layer above that. If somebody arrests you, if somebody hassles you, can say, wait a second, I'm a free journalist. You can't do that to me. Bloggers can't do that. So the thing is, bloggers have a huge chance to create actual content that is not limited by who they work for or what they're assigned to right now. If you're a sports journalist and you're happening about this great political story, chances are you won't be able to do it because you're a sports journalist. There are no sports bloggers. Well, there are sports bloggers, but they're not confined to that. The other thing is, let's say you're a really good photographer and you will come across this big oil leak next to a refinery in the middle of a city and you make a great photo about it, but you can't write for shit. Then you just have the photo and you can put it on Flickr or somewhere, but it's just a picture and nobody will say, okay, what was that about? On the other hand, if you're a great writer, but you don't own a camera or are unable to operate it, you see the same oil leak and you say, oh man, I got to write about this. But people come across your weblog and see, what, all this text and no picture, no videos and no bells and whistles, why should I read this? So the other thing we can do that old media can't do is we could cooperate. We could say, hey, I can photograph, you can write, let's do this together. But except for some networks like Gothamist or the Metroblogs or others, this isn't done yet. So the reason why I have a lightning talk and an actual talk is because I have all these nice things to say but no solutions right now. One thing that I think definitely needs to be done is we need to find a way to get the rights that journalists have if we have the responsibilities that journalists have. If we need to denote, I wrote this, I can be contacted this way. If you want to arrest or sue me, I'm here. Then we need to be allowed to do the same things that journalists does. We need to get the protection and the same access to information. This, I think, can only be done through judicial processes, through law. So this means that if anyone here from something like the FCE or the Quintessence is here, this needs to be done. This is a hot topic because this could essentially change the way that we process information. And the other thing is there's the Creative Commons license. I think everyone in the room should at least know what this is. No panicked faces, good. It's a license system that's been tried with a law that allows us to share content. What we lack is a platform for that. If I write something and I want a picture, I could go to Flickr or a million other photo systems and type in the keywords that describe what I want to have. But chances are either I won't get what I want or just some crappy downsized version. And even if I find something, it most likely is licensed in a way that I can't use it. So what I propose is A, we need to change the law. This sounds good. And B, there is definitely a need for some kind of open content platform more specific than what you can find via Creative Commons org at the moment. They have some platforms for music and for videos and for short stories and stuff. But for non-fictional, real content, there's actually nothing around. So I think if there's a crack web coder in here who wants to talk about that, I'm at the Hack Center at the Aquaville place. Just look for the big white flag with the Apple logo on it. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the next talk will be about MUD Next Generation, done by Andreas Krenmeier and some other people. Okay, only Andreas, the other one are not here.
Okay, hello, I'm Andreas Krenmeier, and I would like to talk a little bit about MUD-NG. I think quite a few people know this mail tool MUD for the, well, it's a console mail reader, and it's used by quite a lot of people, but the development model is quite closed. So there are a few core developers, and they do most of the development. It's mostly, well, few bug fixes, but no more new features. And there are quite a lot of patches around for a huge number of new features. But the core developers don't want to integrate all those patches because they say it's all bloat. And I couldn't really understand that, so I started a fork called MUD-NG, MUD Next Generation, where well, I just integrated all the patches that I found and I found useful, and really a lot of them are very useful. And well, then I continue to fix all the annoying bugs that I found. For example, I found one annoying. It wasn't really a bug, but it was actually a bug of another mailer application in the RFC 2047 encoding. It says there shouldn't be any spaces, but this mailer put in some spaces, and so MUD only showed crap, and it was easy to fix. And so I just did that and got a lot better result. So I did some interoperability improvements and just added all the new features that I wanted to have. And so we got a new, well, 2 new developers joined me and helped fixing all that, but we came to the problem that the code is basically, well, total crap. It's it's not really structured. It's written in C, and when you fix something on one place, it is very likely that you break some other feature or whatever, and it's almost untestable. So we decided to rewrite MUD and G. We decided to do it in C++, and we decided to have some rules to ensure a high quality of the code. The first thing is, first of all, C++. Unfortunately, well, a lot of people don't really like C++, so it's quite hard to find new developers. Nevertheless, we said all the C++ code needs to be documented, so you exactly know what that or that module does. And clean interfaces, and that you really know as a developer where you can go and just fix things or add new features. Then to ensure that nothing gets broken when you try to add new features, we decided to add unit tests. That's, well, a nice buzzword, and unfortunately hardly any open source project really does unit testing. It's very useful, and you can well, just keep your program working, and you can. It is also very good for refactoring things when you think that the structure of your program is absolutely crap, and then you just run your unit test. Okay, it works. Then you rewrite it. Then you run your unit test again. Oh, it doesn't work, and then you fix as long as until the unit tests work again. So you can ensure that certain modules do work. And yeah, the choice for C++ was that we were able to do some code reuse. So we took some part from the existing MUD and G code. So it's not a complete rewrite, but only about 90% of all the code is rewritten. And we're currently in, unfortunately, a very early stage, so we don't have any working protocol implementations, but we have, well, the core layer, and it's all very incomplete, so we're also searching for developers. So if you're interested in working on a hopefully great new console mail client for, well, Unix-like operating systems, then yeah, please join us. The URL is www.mudng.org. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Well, MUD G is located here in the Hack Center, if I remember correctly, too.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Somehow.
not really. Actually, we're currently flying around.
Okay, but nevertheless, the next project should be at least be located in the Hack Center pretty close to you. It's a Window Manager Improved, a talk by Anselm Gabe.
Yes. Welcome to the Window Manager Improved status report for this year. One moment.
No need to hurry.
Okay, I see the resolution is very worse. I need 800 pixels, I think. I restart.
Well, in the meantime, is Mathis Mansell now here, or should we cancel the talk of him? Okay, so there's only one talk after you, so just take your time. Which one is following this one? CA cert. Talk about CA cert is the next and last one.
Okay, it's still not the best, but we'll try. Okay, what's Window Manager Improved? Window Manager Improved is a dynamic non-WIMP window manager. What does this mean? Some of you maybe have visited some talks by me. I already introduced Window Manager Improved, and dynamic window management means that not the user manages the windows, but the window manager. As you see here, you have windows are managed in layouts, and you got some special functionality to, oh, you don't see it, I make it in this window. You have tabbing and layouted clients. You can rearrange all windows without much work. The window manager does it for you, or you can do some grid layout, as you see here. And yeah, we have a pager as well, a special pager. You see a full screen pager in this window manager. We also got some input menu in the bottom. It's the picture is cut off, sadly, but yeah. The window manager improved is modularized in several components, especially separate processes bar in the bottom, the menu I showed up, the shortcut handler. When I press some buttons, everything is interpreted by a special application. And the components of Window Manager Improved communicate about via a file server interface, which is a derived idea from the Plan 9 operating system. I already showed how it works. What's the current state? I released today the current stable release WMII 2.5 and the dependent 9 base package. The 9 base package contains some Plan 9 userland tools I ported to Unix, and the new release is based on this configuration subsystem, which is built through the 9 base tools. The current state, we wanted to achieve full 9P support. If you don't know what 9P is, you can ask me later in the Hack Center or the Plan 9 guys. It's a network transparent file server protocol. And what we also didn't achieve in this release is a new layout interface with column layout based on ideas we found in the Acme programming environment of Plan 9. Well, what's the future? In February, we expect the upcoming WMII 3 release, which will contain this 9P support and which will allow us to mount the file system of WMII natively into your file system in Linux if you use a kernel later than 2.6.14. And in the mid of next year, I plan to release the non-WIMP GUI minimalist toolkit called libblitz, which WMII already is based on. Well, if there are questions, you can visit the seat. And if I got a minute still, I can show you what a file system-based window manager means. The interface the window manager communicates with each component is a file system.